Most 2026 SUVs are throwaway cars. Tiny turbos, plastic timing chains, CVT transmissions that feel like a rubber band connected to a blender. They are engineered to survive the lease, not your lifetime. But some SUVs, they are built differently. Engines that mechanics call bulletproof, transmissions that shift like they mean it, vehicles your grandkids could drive. Today, we're counting down the only 5 SUVs you can realistically drive to 300,000 miles, starting with a naturally aspirated V6 Honda that actually earns its reputation. Let's go. Number 5. 2026 Honda Pilot. Kicking off this list with a Honda that has no business being this reliable at this price. The why. Why does this engine last? The Pilot runs a 3.5-litre naturally aspirated V6. No turbo, no tiny cylinder doing the work of an engine twice its size, no intercooler cracking at heat at 90,000 miles. Naturally aspirated means simpler, fewer parts, fewer failure points. Honda has been building this V6 family for over 2 decades, refining every weakness out of it with every generation. Mechanics who hate everything, they respect this engine. Fleet managers who run high-mileage vehicles for a living, they spec this engine. This is not marketing, this is 20 years of real-world data. The tranny check. Real gears, real transmission. The Pilot uses a 10-speed torque converter, 10 actual gear changes. When you press the gas, it responds. No rubber band, no hesitation, no thinking about it while you're trying to merge on the highway. This is the kind of transmission your grandfather would recognize, and it will outlast half the cars built in 2026. The price truth. Goldmine or ripoff? New Pilots start around $40,000 for a 3-row family SUV with a bulletproof V6 and a real transmission. That is fair money. You are not buying a badge, you are buying 2 decades of refined engineering. But here's where it gets really interesting. Go used 2022 or 2023 Pilot, and you can find one around $32,000 to $35,000. Bulletproof V6, real transmission, Honda reliability, for the price of a loaded Camry. At that price, the used Pilot is a certified gold mine. Don't buy the rest until you've priced this one first. The buyer's warning. Check the VTC actuator. On older Honda V6s, that part can rattle on cold starts. Not a death sentence, but if you hear a rattle when you first fire it up in the morning, get it inspected before signing anything. On a 2026 model, Honda has addressed this. On a used 2022 or 2023, make the seller prove it's been serviced. Number 4. 2026 Toyota 4Runner. This one is almost cheating to put on the list because Toyota basically refused to update it, and that refusal is exactly why it belongs here. The why. Why does this engine last? The 4Runner still runs a 4-litre naturally aspirated V6, an engine Toyota has been dropping into trucks before smartphones existed. Around 270 horsepower, not class-leading, not trying to win a spec sheet war. But here's what matters. Fleet managers running these in the desert, construction crews, government agencies, off-road outfitters, they are pulling 250 to 350,000 miles out of them on nothing more than basic maintenance. Oil changes, plugs, filters. No turbos to blow, no complex variable displacement failing at 80,000 miles, no cylinder deactivation confusing itself at highway speeds. Just an engine that was overbuilt for the job it does. The tranny check. 5-speed automatic. Not the newest, not the flashiest, but this 5-speed has been paired with this V6 for years, and the combination is proven beyond question. No CVG, no dual-clutch drama. A real torque converter that tow truck drivers and desert guides trust their lives to every single day. The price truth. Goldmine or ripoff? Here's where we have to be honest with you. The 4Runner starts at $42,000, and dealers are still marking them up in some markets. For the technology level you're getting, that's not a great deal on paper. The infotainment feels like 2018, the fuel economy is rough, but you are not buying a tech showcase, you are buying a mechanical contract. Buy it, maintain it, and drive it for 15 to 20 years, and this becomes the cheapest car you ever owned. Spread $45,000 over 2 decades and tell me that's not a goldmine. The buyer's warning. Watch the rear differential on 4-wheel drive models. If the previous owner hammered it off-road without proper maintenance, the diff fluid might be burned. Always pull the drain plug and smell it before you buy used. Dark, burnt smell, walk away immediately.
Number 3. 2026 Kia Telluride. Yes, a Kia, I know, stay with me because this one will surprise you. The why. Why does this engine last? The Telluride runs Kia's 3.8-litre naturally aspirated V6 Lambda 2 engine family, in production since 2009, over 15 years of real-world reliability data behind it. Here is what matters about this engine. It was not designed to win a horsepower contest, it was designed to be dependable. 291 horsepower, enough to move a full family with luggage and a bike rack without working itself to death doing it. Mechanics are seeing Tellurides with 180,000 and 200,000 miles coming in for nothing more than routine maintenance. That is not luck. That is an engine that was sized correctly for the vehicle it lives in. Not undersized and turbo-boosted to fake performance, actually sized right. The tranny check. 8-speed automatic torque converter, real gears, smooth shifts, zero CVT anywhere near this vehicle. Kia put the same transmission family in the Genesis GV80, a $60,000 luxury SUV. That tells you exactly how seriously they took this combination. The price truth, goldmine or ripoff. Base Telluride is around $37,000. Fully loaded SX Prestige pushing $55,000, you're paying for hype. Don't buy the badge, buy the EX. EX trim around $43,000 gets you every feature that actually matters without padding Kia's margin on chrome trim and a bigger sunroof you'll open twice. EX Telluride at $43,000 is a goldmine. Fully loaded SX Prestige is where the value dies. Used 2022 Telluride around $32,000 to $38,000, that is where this car becomes an outright steal. The buyer's warning. Earlier Kia models had well-documented FATA engine issues, not this engine family, but always check the VIN for open recalls before you buy. Kia has been aggressive about addressing them, but verify it in writing before you sign anything. Number 2. 2026 Lexus GX. We are going up market, but stay with me because this one justifies every dollar. The why. Why does this engine last? The 2026 GX runs a 2.4-litre turbocharged inline-4, and before you close the video because you saw turbo, hear me out. This is not a tiny turbo stuffed into an engine that was never designed to handle boost. This is Toyota's properly engineered platform with cooling systems and build tolerances designed for long-term use. Early data from this engine in the Tacoma and 4Runner platform suggests Toyota built it the same way they build everything, to embarrass the competition a decade later. The previous GX carried a 4.6-litre V8 that ran to 300,000 miles without an opinion about it. Toyota does not change what works unless the replacement is better. That's their track record. That's what you're betting on here. The tranny check. 8-speed automatic. Toyota's proven unit. No CVT, clean shifts, exactly what you want under a vehicle at this price point. The price truth. Goldmine or ripoff? Starting around $62,000, yes, that is real money, but here's the number that actually matters. A 3-year-old GX loses around 15% of its value. A 3-year-old German luxury SUV, however, could lose 35%. Buy a used GX at $48,000 and you have found the gold mine hiding inside a luxury price tag. The Germans will cost you the same on the lot and twice as much to own. Drive it for 15 years and you will come out ahead of almost every cheaper option on this list. That's not badge buying, that's long-term financial strategy. The buyer's warning. The earlier turbocharged engine is still early in its real-world reliability history. If you want zero risk and zero question marks, find a 2023 or 2024 GX with the old V8. That engine's track record is beyond debate. The new turbo should be fine based on everything Toyota has shown us. The old V8 is proven. Your call based on your risk tolerance.
Number 1. 2026 Toyota Sequoia Hybrid. Before you type the comment, this is not what you think. The why does this engine last? The Sequoia runs a 3.5-litre twin-turbocharged V6 paired with a hybrid electric motor, combined output 437 horsepower. And I already know what half of you are doing right now. You're thinking about your neighbour's Prius battery, or that hybrid PAB that needed a $4,000 pack at 90,000 miles. Here is what the data actually says. Toyota has been making hybrid powertrains since 1997, nearly 30 years. Their hybrid batteries are not the weak link people assume. Toyota hybrid taxis in Japan are hitting 500,000 miles on the original battery. Camry hybrid cabs in Chicago are clearing 350,000 miles in stop-and-go traffic. This is not marketing. This is documented fleet data from real operators who cannot afford surprises. The Sequoia's hybrid system also means the combustion engine does less work at low speeds. The electric motor handles it. That actively reduces wear on the engine over time. Less combustion at idle and low load means less heat, less friction, less wear. Hybrid equals longer engine life. The data supports it. The tranny check. Steel gears versus rubber bands. I know you saw ECVT in the spec sheet. I know your finger moved toward the dislike button. Stop. Let me show you something that most car reviewers are too lazy to explain. There are two completely different machines that get called a CVT, and the automotive media treats them like they are identical. They are not even close. The CVT you hate, the Nissan Altima, the older Subaru, that is a belt and pulley CVT. Picture a rubber band stretched between two metal cones. As the engine revs, the cones squeeze and spread to change the gear ratio. That rubber band wears, it slips under load, it overheats when you tow anything. At 100,000 miles, it starts whining. At 150,000 miles, it starts dying. That is the CVT that ruined your neighbour's Rogue. That is the CVT that earned its reputation. Toyota's eCVT is steel gears and electric motors. There is no belt, no pulley, no rubber band under stress. It is a planetary gear set, the same fundamental concept inside every traditional automatic transmission ever built, except electric motors control the ratio instead of hydraulics. Mechanically, Toyota's eCVT is closer to a traditional automatic than it is to a Nissan CVT. They share a name the way a bicycle and a Harley-Davidson share the phrase two wheels. Same label, completely different machine, completely different engineering, completely different reliability profile. Toyota has been running this exact planetary system in Prius fleet taxis with 400,000 to 500,000 miles on the original hardware. Fleet operators, people who lose money every hour a car is in the shop, keep speccing it. That is the only reliability review that matters. Steel gears, not rubber bands. There is no debate here. The price truth, gold mine or rip-off. Starting around $58,000. For 437 horsepower, Toyota's 30-year hybrid pedigree and a proven planetary drivetrain. Compare that to a Ford Expedition or GMC Yukon at the same price. Same money, none of the reliability pedigree, none of the hybrid efficiency, none of the long-term track record. This is the gold mine at the top of the list, not because it is the cheapest, because at $58,000 you're buying the most refined powertrain combination Toyota has ever put in a consumer SUV, and Toyota's track record means that investment pays off over a 15 to 20 year ownership window. The buyer's warning. The twin-turbo V6 is newer technology.
We do not yet have 300,000-mile Sequoias driving around to point at. The car simply hasn't been on the road long enough. Our confidence in this vehicle comes from Toyota's institutional track record, not yet from individual high-mileage examples. Everything Toyota builds with this level of intention earns that trust over time. But if certainty matters more than efficiency, the forerunner below this is your answer. 5 SUVs, 5 powertrains built to outlast the industry that built them. Here's the honest summary. The Toyota Sequoia Hybrid is the most ambitious pick on this list. New technology, proven manufacturer, the boldest bet, and potentially the best long-term value if Toyota's track record holds, which in 30 years it always has. The Toyota 4Runner is the zero-doubt option. Old technology by design, overbuilt on purpose. If you want a vehicle with no question marks and a drivetrain that mechanics have been repairing in their sleep for 20 years, this is your answer. Buy it, drive it forever. The Kia Telluride EX is the goldmine for buyers who want 3 rows, a real V6 and a real transmission without paying luxury prices. The Honda Pilot is the most underrated pick on this entire list, overlooked because it is not exciting, built to be reliable, not exciting. The Lexus GX is for the buyer who wants long-term reliability and a premium experience and is smart enough to buy it used. Here's the uncomfortable truth we leave you with every week on this channel. Most cars built today are not meant to last 20 years. The manufacturers know it, the dealers know it, the subscription fees, the extended warranties, the recommended replacement intervals at 60,000 miles, it's all engineered around one idea: get you back in the showroom. These 5 SUVs are the exceptions. Buy smart, maintain them correctly, and they'll never give you a reason to go back. If you're sick of being sold a car that's really just a 4-year lease disguised as ownership, hit subscribe. We only cover vehicles that actually respect your bank account. Now tell me in the comments, are you buying the 4Runner or the Sequoia? Because these two are going to war in the comments and I want to see it.